Hey guys, LevelCap here and welcome to This Week in Gaming, your weekly news update for everything going on in the world of video games. And this week was another big one for Battlefield 6 as it got its first post-launch content update, including a Battle Royale. Arc Raiders finally launched to incredibly positive feedback. Arma Reforger got a major update that completely reworks its core mode, and much more. It's been a whirlwind of a week for Battlefield 6. The game's first post-launch content update launched with the Season 1 update, and alongside this, DICE also launched RedSec with barely any warning, a free-to-play Battle Royale mode for Battlefield 6. These updates have been largely positive for the game, although if you paid attention to Steam reviews and social media, you might not think so. Players cite issues like the Battle Pass progression being tied to RedSec gameplay, the new map Blackwell Fields having some pretty big balance issues, and a general concern that RedSec will take development resources away from Battlefield 6's core multiplayer modes. As for my experience with Season 1 in RedSec, overall I think it's a very good first update for the game. RedSec is certainly built following in the footsteps of Warzone, but it's adding a lot more destruction and Battlefield's iconic gunplay, plus the better vehicle physics and helicopter piloting. It's turned into a pretty darn good Battle Royale experience, and I've had a lot more fun playing it than I ever did playing Warzone. There's also some very impressive destruction events during the Battle Royale mode, even more so than we see in a lot of the base Battlefield 6 maps, which is interesting, and hopefully some of that destruction will start coming over into the base maps as well. Now, as much as I like the new map Blackwell Fields when it comes to vehicle gameplay, there's no doubt that this map is just too small for the amount of vehicles that have been added to it. And now that players have figured out the meta, well, it's pretty easy to camp the airfields with the anti-air tank and shoot down aircraft and helicopters as they are coming out of spawn. Visibility can also be a bit of a challenge on this map due to, again, the monochrome color scheme. I've still been enjoying the map, but then again, I also really enjoy vehicle and sniper gameplay. Personally, I think it's a little unfortunate that they didn't launch Eastwood first, as that map is just solid all around, and I think fans are going to like it when it finally does launch. Now, an interesting angle of the massive RedSec map is that it can actually be edited in Portal, and I think there's a good chance that we'll be seeing community servers popping up, offering unique conquest and breakthrough experiences on chunks of the RedSec map that players have reworked and added objectives to, or maybe they'll be making their own custom Royale type experiences. Arc Raiders, Embark's new PvPvE extraction shooter, finally launched to an insane 260,000 concurrent players on Steam alone. That's while it's going up against other big shooters like Battlefield. Most people who played the tech test or the betas have this game high on their most anticipated list, mine included, and now that it's finally here and a solid experience as well, it seems like the only direction for this game is up. Since the last technical test, Embark have made a handful of tweaks to the game's balance and lighting, but they hit the ground running with an update on launch day that fixed several gameplay bugs. I streamed the launch day experience for 6 hours, so be sure to check out that video for an unfiltered look at the gameplay, but overall I am floored with it. It is one of the most beautiful looking games, beautiful sounding games, and the gameplay itself is fantastic. Embark really cooked on this one, and as someone who's a big fan of games like Stalker, I would go out on a limb and say that Arc Raiders is one of the best survival shooters I have ever played. The studio also released a roadmap for the game through the rest of the year, and it looks like we'll be getting a new map next month called Stella Montis, plus new Arc enemies, new map condition events, guns, and more. Arma Reforger's latest update is a massive one. Update 1.6 adds a new map, which is a remake of a map from one of the older Arma titles. It slots in as more of a medium to large scale map for the game's conflict mode, which has also been reworked and expanded on. The mode is now called Headquarters Commander and features a player commander role that helps coordinate their team. Bases are also dynamic, with players able to construct them anywhere on the map. It's a huge overhaul to the game's core mode, and it'll be exciting to see how it pans out as players figure out the new strategies and meta. Escape from Tarkov has finally gone gold. The game has been in beta for over 9 years, but it is launching its 1.0 update on Steam in the game's own launcher very soon. The current release date is scheduled for November 15th, and there has been some controversy about having to rebuy the game on the Steam platform if you want to sync your account over there. However, there's also no obligation to buy the game on Steam if you already own it, so you can still play Tarkov 1.0 on your normal client. Halo is getting a modern remake. Halo Campaign Evolved was revealed this week as the next release from Halo Studios. It's being developed in Unreal Engine 5, but features components of Halo's legacy engine, Slipspace, for things like physics. Early previews of the remake have deeply divided the fan base. The changes to the original game's art direction, level design, and gameplay mechanics seem to fly in the face of a faithful remake effort, but at the same time, it's clearly being done at a very high level and with lots of effort put into modernizing the look of the original game and trying to make it appeal to new players and legacy fans alike. The project is also likely serving as a testbed for future Halo titles, which will be developed in Unreal Engine. Amazon laid off 14,000 employees this week, with major cuts affecting their gaming division. New World, Amazon's MMO, has been cancelled, with its next update serving as its final content. An upcoming Lord of the Rings MMO has also been cancelled. Going forward, Amazon will focus on their Luna game streaming platform. As for why this is happening, Amazon cited overhiring caused by the COVID-19 pandemic and AI. However, a recent post by the former VP of Amazon's game division paints a pretty dire picture of the leadership. Amazon was apparently attempting to compete with Steam directly by purchasing Twitch and creating a game store to sell games directly to the streaming platform's users. The VP says that executives at Amazon thought being a much bigger company than Valve would let them easily replace Steam as the de facto PC game store without having to build a better product than Steam itself. The full post is honestly a staggering insight into how misguided Amazon's gaming endeavors have been, and goes a long way to explain why New World was basically the only successful thing they managed to release in 15 years. In a bit of Halloween-related news, a long-awaited sci-fi horror game finally has a firm release date. Routine is an upcoming single-player FPS that blends the NASA punk aesthetic with a gritty horror experience. It was revealed over 13 years ago with a 2013 release date, but it's finally launching on December 4th. Recent trailers for the game have shown major leaps in development, with extensive reworks and improvements to the content that was shown in early trailers and gameplay previews. It looks like fans of Soma or Alien Isolation may have a pretty solid experience when it comes to Routine. In our final story this week, Outer Worlds 2 launched to mostly positive reviews from players and critics. The space RPG is the latest from Fallout New Vegas developer Obsidian Entertainment, and it's a direct follow-up to their first Outer Worlds game, which launched back in 2019. Reviews of both games highlight that classic Obsidian oddball charm, though performance and deep RPG mechanics seem lacking. And that wraps it up for today's episode of This Week in Gaming. I wanted to wish everybody a happy Halloween, and if you haven't seen some of the Arc Raiders gameplay, check out my live stream here. This is really a special game that I feel people should not miss. Take that from somebody who is not an extraction shooter fan. I cannot stop playing Arc Raiders. There's just something about it. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed this content, don't forget to drop me a like, subscribe for more, and I'll see you next time. This is Level Cap, signing off.